Good morning, Kirk.
I learned a little bit about your hygiene a minute ago.
Yes, you did.
Brakken shaves his head and then must shower afterwards.
Sometimes.
So not must.
No.
Would prefer to.
I have 3 different versions, actually, Kirk, of shaving my head.
Okay.
Version 1, the most common, is I shave in the shower.
Convenient.
I would call that the advanced, the master's program. Once you've done it long enough, you can do it without looking in the mirror.
You can probably feel your way through it.
You just feel your way through it. One
Yeah.
hand is just leading, one's going. Best way of doing it is in the sink in front of the mirror. I get the best shave there. Then I also have this buzzer. It's called a Baby Bliss. It's a weird name, but they make good head products. You'll see them in barbershops. You'll see them also on Amazon. They're like this weird company that actually made it, but they're called Baby Bliss. It's a electric buzzer, and it does a very good job, except it struggles around the ears. So then I have to finish that with the razor.
It's like smooth as a baby's bottom, I assume would be the
it might be
the marketing, which is a little weird. But hey, do you trim your nose hairs?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I found myself in a grave situation, and that is like a month ago, my nose hair trimmer like attachment broke, and so I've had to go rogue recently. And I'm not like an overly hairy dude or anything, but like you don't realize how much you miss your nose hair trimmer until you miss your nose hair trimmer. It's a real travesty.
Yeah, so you take a ballpoint pen and you wrap it with double-sided tape. You just stick it in there, you hold for a minute, and you just rip everything out.
That is not what I'm doing. That is terrible. I'd rather take a lighter to my nostril. That would also work.
That could be bad.
It could be good though.
All right, so we got through grooming.
Okay.
Do I look good? Am I clean?
Yeah, you look as good as I've seen you in quite a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like mildly under the weather. I feel like I look like I just got hit by a bus. But
how sore do I look?
You don't look sore at all. Are you sore from something?
Yeah, I did 4x4 lifting yesterday, and I deep squatted for the first time in a long time. Basically, I kicked off in earnest like this high rocks training block. Really kicked it off. And
somebody that I was chatting with a couple of weeks ago told me you're not supposed to get sore from your strength work. They said you shouldn't get very sore.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I should.
Pot meat kettle here.
You.
Let's point some fingers, Brakken.
You are like Lisa. You're metronomes. You haven't missed workouts consistently in years. You shouldn't be getting sore from your strength work anymore. You're running big mileage and marathon training. I picked up a barbell for the first time in a long time. I should be sore.
All right, touche. I did say screw it, and I went big on my lower body strength work on Wednesday last week, and I had a Friday tempo, and my rear chain was totally screwed. It absolutely impacted my ability to run well. And I was like, yeah, see, Kirk, maybe you do need to back off it. Maybe it is correct. Yeah, because it didn't feel great at all. It felt horrible.
So I knew how bad this would be. So I went front squat light and deep, and I went back squat heavy and shallow.
Like, what's shallow mean to you?
Like if you would call 90 degrees parallel, I would say 20 degrees above that.
Okay. Safe. That's a safe depth to not totally ruin yourself.
Get down low enough that everything needs to be tight and it is stressed and it's bearing the load, and not deep. Like there is no getting out of the hole with that. You never get near the hole. You're just up and down, just stressing my structure more than anything.
Okay. And you're sore. I mistake it. You're very sore.
Yeah, but I think it's the front squat.
Yeah, probably.
It's like butt to calves front squat. Light, but just that tension under that range of motion got me. Benching got me.
Good. Leveling up.
It's going to dip down before it goes up.
Proud of you.
All right, let's get to the real deal, which is, this the best week to be the week after a championship? Is that the best week to be someone who enjoys running?
It has. I mean, the weekend of and the week after. Yeah, I would have to say. I do
Man,
want to slow us down though for a second.
even more?
Well, I think it's more important to lead with my Strava
Mm.
realizations
Yep,
because
yep, yep,
otherwise I
yep.
think it's going to get lost. And I want to make sure that what I have to say is said.
Okay.
All right. And I think I'm going to upset a few people. They don't know they're about to be upset, but I think they're going to hear what I have to say. They are going to go look at their own Strava metrics, their relative efforts, and their fitness score. And they are going to realize that Strava has changed their algorithm. And everybody's fitness score right now, as long as you're not a giant POS with your training, is climbing. They changed, I'm telling you objectively, somebody at Strava confirmed this. All the athletes I work with, their fitness scores are climbing. My fitness scores are climbing with the same output. I used to get a 15 to 20 score on a recovery run with a 135 average heart rate. Now I'm getting a 40 score.
Hmm.
And so it looks, my big quality sessions, sometimes I'd breach 100, sometimes not. Now I'm hitting 200 with literally similar efforts. And so Strava has changed their algorithm. Our fitness scores are going up. People are commenting on it. And I think it's all just the algorithm because my score is now over 100 and I haven't seen that since I was injured biking 300-mile weeks.
Yeah.
And point being, you guys are awesome out there and your Strava metrics are looking real, real good. But I think they slid one underneath us and changed the algorithm.
Do
Actually, I'm
you have a
positive of it.
guess as to what changed?
I think they're assigning bigger numbers to the same metrics.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that.
And I
And
wonder
so
if they have assigned more weight or changed the weather impact.
I don't know what the answer would be there, but I know it's giving us more credit than we used to. That's a great
Have
question.
your race predictors changed?
My race predictors have not changed.
So you're
So
more fit, but your output is still predicted as the same.
it's saying my output has increased, meaning like how hard I'm working in
Hmm.
training. But my predictors, well, now you're going to make me look.
Yeah.
So my predictors say, good question. Very curious here. Yeah, like yesterday it gave me a relative effort of 59 for my recovery run. And I normally in the 20s for that run. 10 miles, 134 beat a minute average. I'm barely going to breach 30 ever. So it almost doubled it. My predictors. Okay, it says my marathon has gone down in the last 30 days, 4 minutes and 3 seconds to 2:31. My 5K down 1 second in the last 30 days from 15:39 to 15:38. So not really. That's insignificant, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, have you noticed this?
Well, no. But I'm the wrong person to ask.
I just think there's people out there that are either thinking they're swinging too hard or think they're doing a great job, and they probably are. But the metrics are, I'm telling you, they've
Yeah.
changed. That's all. I wanted to get
Maybe
that
it's
out there.
now telling you accurately what you've been doing. This has been a gripe with Lisa for so long. She'll get a few points, a handful of points for a run that she's like, that was not easy. And Strava's like, oh, unproductive. Or Garmin's like, unproductive. So
Hmm.
maybe it's just accurately telling you now what you're building.
What I believe, I think this is probably a better algorithm. We just need to recalibrate. Is like you go a day without a workout and you like lose 2 fitness points, and you're like, what
Right.
on earth? And now I think it's you have to earn almost losing those fitness points by being even less consistent. So
Yeah.
it's not. I think it's not smacking. It's like you can go for a 10-mile run and it'll say +0 for the day because it's a recovery run. So you baseline, but then you lose a point the next day. It's like it almost just discredits my 10-mile recovery run. Like I would just trend downwards if that's all I
Yeah.
did. That's
Yeah.
all.
So I've been a part of 2 startups and then part of the same this isn't the point of that, but the same process with Spartan for a little bit helping behind the scenes with them. And all 3 times there was this request to make some sort of formula or rating system for what people are doing.
For the
And you
Spartan
try to
Combine,
do
right? Weren't you involved with that?
yeah. Yeah. And the thing you run into is that you just cannot come up with a way to accurately rate or rank everything without perspective. And so Strava has had that problem early on, big time, and they have way bigger minds working on it and bigger budgets, and they have come up with really good algorithms, but it's dumb AI. It's not smart AI. And they can't they can only take into account what they've been programmed to take into account. So they're always going to run into this problem, which is one size fits all does not fit anyone well. And so it's
Mm.
always going to be wrong. So they're going to keep circling closer and closer to the target on this. And sometimes they may circle a little farther away and then closer. But 10 years from now, it's going to look so much better than it does now. But it's still going to be this thing where they're trying to figure out, how do we actually make this quantifiably good rather than just consistent across the board in its inaccuracy. Does that make sense? Like we have a metric now, and because it looks clean on the app, we're going to read too far into it. But it really doesn't actually know. Sometimes it does, but it's not a guarantee. It's a guess.
Well, I do think my race predictors are fairly close right now, so it
Uh-huh.
has to be. I mean, I do believe they're circling the right waters, so it can't be that far off, right?
The predictors are their best thing, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's because it's based off of races and quality work. But the least accurate piece is trying to put a fitness score improvement or decrease on every single workout, because that's not how fitness
Yeah,
is
totally.
built. Anyway, it's maddening, but it's also fascinating to see them get better at it and realizing that they are figuring out a way to actually quantify, in a way, how much each run could potentially be helping you.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm guessing this is a better system. I feel like I'm rewarded for what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more evenly. And where I think this new algorithm, and this is all speculation, by the way. Somebody at Strava could be like pulling their hair out right now, being like, "This is a false," but it's
Yeah.
not. I'm telling you. What I think my frustration with Strava's score of my efforts was any sort of structured interval training with true rest, like when I was 5K prep training and I'm running 800s at 5K pace or faster with like 2 minutes rest, I would get like it would hardly move the needle on the score more than like an extended recovery run. Now, when I look at these sessions, it's crediting me for like the more VO2 max spice work, like where it used to not. Now it's saying, hey, that was actually taxing and it's like doubling the score of those like shorter interval sessions.
Yeah.
That's where I
Time
feel
and
like it's doing
zones
a better
mattered
job.
more prior.
Correct. I think that's where it's fixed itself.
Yeah.
My guess.
So my big issue, and I'm not saying I have an issue with this, but if I
Sounds like
had
you
to
have an
be
issue.
negative towards it, my issue is that it leans into the instant gratification realm
Mm.
rather than long-term development, which is the exact wrong thing you want as an endurance athlete. The ability to do a run and see, did I get better or worse, is like entirely false. And it's the wrong thing I'd want anyone ever as a runner to ever believe. I'd almost rather have them update, like a new update to a video game or a software for a phone rolls out. Like every 6 weeks, you got your update, like, hey, how have I progressed in the last 6 weeks?
Hmm.
Because it's accumulated work over time, which is how you quantify better. But I can't say anyone ever did a run and they're like, hey, I got better today or I got worse, unless it was mental or injury.
Well, okay. So let's just take a quick look and then we can move on. But I'll take one of my more like thresholdy sessions. I did 12 by 3 minutes and 15 seconds last
Okay.
week. Basically 12 by 1,000, right? Is really what that equates to. I just don't have a track anymore, as some of you may know. So I went off a time. It gave me a score from that session of 160. Okay. Stayed pretty well within myself. Now let's go to my 24 by 400 meters, which would be a previous one. That score, it gave me 199. So for my 400-meter repeat session, it gave me a higher score than my 12 by, let's call it 3 minutes, it typically would have almost been the inverse of that in the past. I would have got a less score for the intervals and shorter intervals and a higher score for the longer intervals. Just interesting.
Which one would you say was more costly on your body from a recovery standpoint?
The 12 by 400, 24 by 400 meters, no doubt.
Really?
Yeah. So this is accurate how I felt afterwards. Yeah. The short rest kept my heart rate up higher. The 30 seconds, it just doesn't come down once I got into the meat of it.
Yeah.
I think it reflects more accurately how I felt from those sessions. Yeah. 100%. Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on to now track and field?
Let's. And I know you want to talk more specifics, and maybe we can, but we just are only 2 days off the final. And so I know there are going to be a lot of people who have not caught up yet. But the USA Track and Field Championships just happened. So they crowned national champions for the United States of America and determined, for the most part, who's going to be on the world championship team. There are still people who have to go get the standard, or there could be a roll down or whatever, which is, I wish just wasn't a thing. But anyway, it's the biggest track meet of the year for the nation.
And I think people can wrap their head around the Olympics and say, oh my gosh, the Olympics are a huge deal. It is the Olympics, the World Championships. Folks, the Olympics happen every single year, in a sense, where the best runners have to qualify for their nation and go to the World Championships. The only difference is the World Championships every 4 years is called the Olympics. Right. It's the exact same meaning, maybe. I mean, as far as the competition, the best in the world show up to race the world champs. So this is a huge deal. Just because it's not the Olympics, it holds the exact same amount of weight for all the athletes and the quality of athlete that shows up.
And I would argue that more often than not, world championships have better competition than in the Olympics do.
Because of the countries that get qualifiers for representation that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, depth of field usually is better at world championships, and
good point.
Olympics just the by nature of every 4 years, some people just aren't even healthy, or they may have to be at the tail end of their career, but you always get people in their primes for every single world championship. And it's just maybe even it's more difficult to win the Olympics because of timing, but it's harder to win world championships because the competition's often better.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and this is no discredit to athletes who run at the Olympics that are slower, but you can have somebody from a very underdeveloped, small third world country, at the Olympics running in a headdress because that's common dress and being a minute behind all the other women in the 1500 in their prelim, and then they're out, right? Like we're at the world champs, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's just a little different. So anyway, This is a big deal for people who care a lot about running.
Yes. Okay. So impressions. We can spoil it. If you haven't watched, the spoiler is literally in the stupid video titles anyways.
Okay. So I'm just going to say it slowly and clearly.
Okay.
Do not continue listening right now if you have not watched the races and you care about who wins and that being spoiled for you. So we're probably going to spend 10 to 15 minutes here. So skip ahead and then work backwards by 15 to 30 second increments to get to where you want to be. But for now, if you don't want to know, pause this episode or skip ahead.
I think a lot of people who care a lot and don't want to hear it are not going to pause the episode because they just can't help themselves.
Can't help. But like myself, I was karting this weekend, so I didn't start watching anything until Sunday night.
Same with me.
Sure, there are some others who are in the similar boat.
So things that we already know, but still had to be reminded of. That is my takeaway, mostly from the races.
Okay. Well, lead off here. Because I would agree.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, the crop, the refreshing and refilling of our talent from the collegiate system and the young ranks is unbelievable, first of all. It's unbelievable. The collegians winning U.S. champ events, or they just finished their NCAA seasons and now they're a pro qualifying for teams. Our NCAA system is legit AF, and it is as good of a system in the world compared to even the pro rankings. It's unbelievable.
The future is now for U.S. distance running.
What the heck has happened?
Obviously, the training's improved, right? Obviously, they figured out how to not burn kids out as badly. But what's crazy to me is that these kids are coming out with fitness, tactics, and race acumen to championship race at high levels of speed. It used to be if you get one of these 800-meter runners or milers coming off their big win, if they sneak into the final and it goes slow, they have a chance.
Yep.
Now it's if they race their way into the final and it goes fast, they still have a chance. That you used to come out with really good tactics or really good speed. You didn't come out with both. If you were that fast, you crushed everyone at the NCAAs. Like Edward Cheserek, I don't know, what did he win? Like 600 NCAA titles?
More.
But he was never a great tactical racer because he had so much more speed than anyone else. He could just like burn a big match and crush. Now you have these kids coming out running faster than he ran in college, but they're in dogfights throughout their career. And so they can race tactically too. They're so well-rounded. They are ready to be pros the moment they leave college.
And I think it's even more impressive. Yes, you can argue that these kids are race sharp, which they are. They're raced to death in the NCAA system compared to the pros. But the fact that they have raced, like an Ethan Strand has been racing every weekend or every other weekend since January. And then he goes out and almost wins the 1,500-meter final. To an underdog he loses to, outkicks Cole Hawker. The kid's raced 30 times this year. That's harder to do than calculated strikes like the pros are doing. It just is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. The other thing, the main thing that we already knew but had to be reminded of, even if you're the best in the field in a time trial, leading early just it never pays off. Never.
Rarely.
Okay, very rarely.
In a good field, it doesn't pay off. And that's the difference, right? USA's used to get won by the biggest engine because they were head and shoulders. No one's head and shoulders anymore. You could argue on the women's side, there are one or two athletes who are head and shoulders above. There's no one like that
on the world stage. You're talking
on the U.S. stage.
What events are you thinking of?
I mean, I think Nikki Hiltz is just clearly the best 1,500-meter runner in the nation right now. And I don't think, like, especially in a championship race, in a time trial, maybe not, but in a championship, Nikki has just crushed everyone for like 3 years now. But it used to be Centrowitz would just, what do you win, 9 straight championships or something like that? Like that's not happening. We have world leaders in the 1,500, but we also have 3 guys that are like hundredths or tenths behind. So you're not just going to run the legs off the field anymore. You're right.
The most impressive performance on the men's side, given what I just said, was Cole Hawker in the 5K. Cole Hawker led 90% of that race, did the lion's share of the work, probably trying to drag the field and Cooper Tier through, and then gets past with, 800 to go, as you would expect after leading, by one of the best finishers in the field, Grant Fisher. Cole Hawker comes back after the 1,500, leads the whole 5K, and still outkicks everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only exception to what I can really think of.
Yeah, and that'll lead me to a take I have later, but they also weren't running crazy fast.
I agree.
That was a saving grace there. But yeah, it's when you're not head and shoulder. And we've said this before, if you're the best, sometimes you just need to run it out of people. But being the best at the US stage right now means that you're tenths better.
Yeah,
you can't separate everyone.
Tried to run the legs off of people. He just didn't run fast enough. They ran 3:30. Yared Nuguse needed to run 3:27 or faster to guarantee that tactic worked. And you didn't drop a single person in the field.
Which is crazy. That's what it says about the US right now, because as of 2 cycles ago, I believe, the championship record got set at 3:34. 3:34 was the fastest time ever run at a U.S. championships for the 1,500. And this year, that did not get you into the final.
I believe that's true.
That is absolutely insane. So in just 2 years, I want to say it's 2 years. It's either 2 or 3 years. We've gone from 3:34 is the record at this meet to that performance wouldn't make the final. And that's really hard to quantify how much better the whole field's gotten. To say in the history of our nation, we've had one person do it. Now, sorry, that doesn't make you into the top 10.
So who are your big losers of the champs? And then we'll do big winners. Who do you say, who are the biggest losers? Meaning like they just disappointment in performance.
Well, I mean, to me, the biggest loser is, on paper, you would say Yard Nagoose, but I'm going to say Cooper Tier is the biggest loser because of the long-term implications.
Explain that.
Yard Nagoose was arguably the number 1 miler in the world this year. He's not, but he's not outside the top 3.
I mean, he was second at the Olympics. No, third.
Yeah. In any poll you did this year, I don't think you would have him ranked worse than 3rd. And he didn't make the US team. So he's the biggest loser in like one snapshot. But for the implications of what this race meant, I think Cooper Tier is the biggest loser in that he
needed this,
never make a team because his peer group continues to beat him at championships. And now the other pack is outperforming him. The young guys are outperforming him. And I don't even want to like put that evil on him because I feel for him, but how do you make this team moving forward? It would be a depressing place to be, to think that I was always the second best. And now there's 6 more people who can all claim to be second best and they might be better than me.
And he's so good, Cooper Tier.
So good.
He's so good. And he's a half a second behind in everything. He just gets, he's in it. And then he's like reaches
Hunter.
for it and misses it. Drew Hunter. Oh, how do you not root for both of those guys? Drew Hunter in particular.
One place off.
You watch him thrashing himself that last 100 meters to catch, I don't know who it was, whoever was 3rd. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, those are my 2. And I think Yard's the obvious. Everyone's going to say that. But man, did I feel bad for Cooper Tier.
Yeah.
The writing's on the wall. He's going to have to not have to. He can do whatever he wants. He's a millionaire. He's one of the fastest people in the world, comparatively. He's fine. But if he wants to make a team, he might have to go in on the 10K or go to steeplechase or something, because 1,500 and the 5K are absolute shark tanks.
That's very well said. I agree with all of that. I'm going to pick on the women a little bit. And by the way, that doesn't mean these people are losers. They're such good athletes that it was a disappointment they didn't perform as they should have. Mm-hmm. Gabby Jennings in the women's steeplechase, fastest time in the U.S., I believe, heading into it, led, was up front a good bit. I mean, she fell off the back. I don't even know where she finished, and she should have been one of our potential contenders. Yeah. Disappeared. Josette Andrews, she made the team in the 5K. She had a 20-second personal best faster than the second person in the field. Josette Andrews should have run away with it. She took 3rd and barely. She almost got out kicked and didn't make the team. But she did, so she really doesn't qualify. But she just she led a bit and didn't press, I think, hard enough was the problem. And that goes to show she was 20 seconds better than the field, led the majority of the race, and literally came within a 1/10 of a second of not making the team. Yeah, because of it. So those 2 I found very interesting. And then
in the 800, say, okay, here we go.
And then the 800, Josh Hoey. Yeah, I would say he had run U.S. lead times and faded, and that was it. We got some very promising looks with Brazier and the kid, the 16-year-old Lutkenhaus, but Hoey on paper should have made the team.
Yeah. So I was kind of saving them for you. I thought you were going to take men and women 800-meter runners. Josh Hoey is the hottest, second hottest now 800-meter runner in the world, and having the best U.S. season we've maybe ever had. Indoor and outdoor combined. We've had indoor winners, we've had outdoor winners, but that indoor-outdoor dominance we haven't seen since Donovan Brazier. And he went out too hard. He went out in 49 low through the 400, and he came up just shy, 100 meters shy. But that's what happens. But then on the women's side of thing, Mo, Uh, you kind of knew what was going to happen, but she just got down and ran too flat and had moved down from like
203.
203 to too flat. And you're like, she's such a talent that you thought it could happen. But the dichotomy between her and Donovan Brazier in this meet was startling because they're both ex-world champions. And they both disappeared for a bit. And then they both came back this year and did fine. And Brazier actually has been trending a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But after the race, just in Brazier's interview and Athing Mo's interview, you saw why this happened. Brazier was tearing up almost talking about how much this meant to him. And he said, I dreamed this moment and I believed it, but I never really even knew if it could ever happen. And you realize he's been living his comeback and she's been playing track.
Mm.
And when she left this sport, she could play track consistently and win.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came back, you can't play track anymore. You can't play track and field. You have to live track and field. And so it was just interesting to watch those two who are in very, very similar boats have exact opposite experiences this weekend.
Yeah. That whole most thing is a mystery still, I think. Truly, like whether it's holding back too much from racing. I get it too. Oh,
she doesn't love it. And she's good at other things and has other interests. Like that's healthy.
I agree.
But the sport's too good to do that anymore.
I can't think of a male version of that right now. I mean, maybe there is, but I can't. But she's been the glaringly obvious one. All right. Big winners. I can start this one if you would like.
Okay, go for
it. Big winners. Lexy, Halladay, Lowry, I think it is.
Okay.
In the women's steeplechase. Just came off her collegiate season. She was second in the women's steeplechase in the NCAA finals, and she made those women look like little girls in the women's steeplechase final. She ran away with them with guts. She reminded me of Kenneth Rook's grit, where she just bore down and she was wearing it on her face, and she said, "You will literally have to kill me to beat me." Mm-hmm. And she took a very tenured field and stretched them out with 2 laps to go and just ran away with them because of heart. That's how it looked to me. Like, she's a legit player.
Yeah.
And she's been that way in the NCAA system. She's run with such grit.
She reminds me of Emma Coburn.
Yeah. Maybe even grittier.
She wears it more. Emma always was pretty placid in her face, but
and I love seeing, and talking about body image, whatever, it's taboo. I love seeing a strong woman runner with a frame and muscles.
Yeah.
In distance events, just making mincemeat out of some of the toothpicks out there. I love it.
Yeah.
So she was just a big winner. And then the girl who took second was third at the NCAA finals, I think from not North Carolina.
I haven't watched the women's steeple yet. I saw results, but I haven't watched it.
It's so good. The NC State girl. Anyways, NC State girl took second, who was third at the NCAA championships. And the collegians, again, as I said, the young ranks, they go 1-2 in the women's steeplechase final at the U.S. champs. So those were that just stood out to me.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone won bigger than, I'm going to say his last name wrong, but Cooper Lutkenhaus.
Yeah.
16-year-old kid ran 142 in the 800 meters. He set the record at 146 low. And then he broke it at 145, and people are like, he just took a second off his record. And then he came to NCAAs, made the final, and ran to USA's, and ran 142, outkicking everyone except Brazier to take second place at USA's as a 16-year-old high school kid. But the record has gone from 146 to 142. 142. Now, Macaulay messaged me. He's like, if you haven't watched any of these yet, because he knew I was at the track, he said, start with this one and try not to see the title on YouTube. So you do that thing where you put your hand over half the screen, squint your eyes to make sure you're getting the video, but not seeing the words.
Uh-huh.
And I did not. I expected the chaos in the 800 because that's what the 800 is, but I did not expect a 142 from a high school kid. And my response was, he might set every record we've ever seen, and he may never run faster again. You never know with these lightning in a bottle performances, but even if he never does, 142 in the 800 in my mind is now the single greatest prep result of modern era.
I mean, it's the world record. He set the under 16 world record,
He set
smashed
the
it.
U18 world record.
That's insane. Or U18, yes.
Forget 16. He's at U18.
It both inspires me and makes me want to quit at the same
Yeah.
time.
He has such a frame. We haven't seen a frame in the 800 like that young since Andrew Wheating.
That's why, and not that that's an asterisk, because it's not, but it you can make sense of it by looking at him. I mean, he's a very developed.
He's not like Quincy Wilson, or you're like, how
That's a
is this
kid.
kid doing it?
Correct. Yeah. And the way he closed was the scariest part of it, because he went from 6th or something or 7th in the last 150. If he had another 10 meters, he would have won.
Yeah.
And so if he has that much left in the tank, where is his line really drawn?
I don't know. The thing about the 800 is that it's who ties up the least. And every once in a while, you get a race where you get a shot of adrenaline because you're closing.
Mm-hmm.
And you may never replicate that again. You may never get that chemical imbalance in your body again. And I swear adrenaline buffers lactate. Or it just eradicates it for a little bit.
It short circuits your system.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And so he didn't tie up and he closed all the way. And you just don't know if that'll happen again. But I don't even want to get past it. Just 142 for an 800 meter runner is absolutely insane. I was a above average Division III college runner, and I ran 153, and I split 152 in a relay. 16-year-old kid just ran 10 seconds faster in an open race, and that was his third 800 meter of the weekend at the end of running an entire high school season. It just, he would have beat me by 80 meters. 80 meters. I'm the best 800 I ever ran in my life.
Yeah, like a whole straightaway on the track. Let's just.
He would have been breaking the tape as I really started kicking. Unbelievable. Again, it's just hard to even comprehend 4 seconds of a record going down in the 21st century.
And you look at those 800 meter runners on the women's side as well, but more on the men's. And you just look at, again, talking physique, you look at the type of body and the type of stride that is required to run that race. And these guys are I don't want to say galloping, but the length of their bounding. Yes. The length of their stride is twice mine. I mean, I'm not being facetious. I actually think it's nearly twice a guy like you and me. The way they open up and bound for 400 to 500 meters before they have to start really turning over and forgetting about it. They look like Clydesdale horses galloping for at least a lap to a lap and a half before they either start tying up or turnover work needs to start happening, or the turnover has to increase because they're fading or kicking. It's unbelievable watching them. The subset of body type, if there's one body type, I think the 800 meters almost seems to be the one that jumps out at me the most. The way they run and move.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely different. But it again, it's another event where the US is going to be set for a long time. And every time something like that happens at the high school level, the bar just gets raised and things go crazy. So now that it was stuck at 146, 146, 147, 146, now it's 142. You're going to see 144 to 145 become commonplace each year. It's like how breaking 4 in the mile went.
Remember in high school, state meet would be one. Dan Holm's child was, I think, a champ in my era. 154, I think it was one in. And I remember I ran 158 in high school, 158 flat.
Yeah.
Maybe 157 high split. But either way, 154 felt so far away and unattainable. I was like, that guy's a god.
152 set the state record my senior year.
This kid's running 10 seconds faster.
10 seconds faster.
Yeah.
It's just... Someone's, I think Yancey posted, is this is going to go down as one of the best high school track and field. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't think of a better one currently.
No.
There was a time way back in the day, I don't know if it was Jim Ryan. He might have had the world record in high school. But in modern era, I can't think of a U.S. high school performance that was better than this.
Alan Webb's 353, probably until this.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably.
Maybe. I mean, Alan Webb ran 359 indoors and then took a 6-second jump outdoors and ran 353 in a huge.
But I think even that was 6th or 7th in the meet.
It was, yeah. It was.
Yeah. So it just.
And then
we've
the
had
other
high school kids win USAs. We've had high school kids place. We've had high school kids run fast, but we've not had someone run this close to the world lead and make the team at this age. Just crazy.
It's a fun time. We'll look back. There was the era of like US distance running that surged in the 70s.
Yeah.
Frank Shorter, the Prefontaine era. And then you sort of had this resurgence again. I feel like a lull. And then you had like the Bob Kennedy era in the 90s. And then I feel like we had great performers again. But like if you look at timestamps, like this is the timestamp. This is this last handful of years is our US timestamp again for distance running.
And I believe it's the end of the like decade dominance for a single runner. You had like Steve Scott win, I don't know, 7 or so 1500 meter champs. And you had Centrowitz win something like 9 straight. You had Nick Simmons win something like 9 or 10 or 11 800 meter championships. And Galen Rupp won, I don't even know how many 5K and 10Ks in a row. I think we're to the end of that. I think Grant Fisher had like 2 or 3 in a row or something, maybe up to like 4, but we're to the point now where I think the sport's developed enough. I don't think you're going to see people win more than 2 or 3 championships in a row for a long time on the US distance side because there's just too many good people.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The other winners, I'm going to give the Collegiate 800 meter runner. She won the NCAAs and then went and won again, right? And she was sort of a surprise win at NCAAs, goes and wins. And then Sage Hurta-Klecker in the 8 takes 3rd, dives across the finish line, crash lands. But she's always been just short.
Mm-hmm.
Sage, right? She's a grinder. She does the eye test. She'd be like, she seems to have to like fight for it a little more. So it was good to see her make a team barely. And then one of my biggest wins is Cole Hawker. Winners. I mean, he didn't run tactically a very great race in either race, the 1500 in particular.
Yeah.
And he made both teams.
He's another one that wins if there's 10 more meters in the 1500.
Yeah. And he's a guy who he builds momentum every season until the world champs or the Olympics. And he's the guy who's still going to be the most dangerous in the 1500 for the Americans. He just is. Because the way he builds, whatever he has going on with whether it's his mental or emotional attachment to the races or his physical training, like I can't think of a time he's timed it wrong. Even coming back from injury, he's progressed throughout the season every single year, and he's doing it again. So I just think like he's en route on the way he should be.
He is, and he last year the big narrative was, well, he built a big base before the Olympics. Well, he's run sub 13 this year. And he's run a fast mile, and he's a kicker. He's just coming in less sharp and getting sharper. And his strength is only going to become more dangerous as championships get here. So, yeah, he lost. In a 3:30 race, he lost, and that's what some people are pushing. And mine is he ran kind of horrifically the last 500 meters and still took 2nd place.
Yeah. Grant Fisher might be on the loser category only because he made both teams, but he got bested by Nico. And
Nico might be the big winner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Took a kid who was a big engine kid who's never going to be able to kick at the high level and turned him into out kicking people at the high level. The narrative was just wrong on him.
Nico Young got out kicked in every race he was in contention for in college until he finally got it right indoors.
Indoor in the 3K, right?
His senior year. Yeah. I mean, he got out kicked time and time again. And now he did it on the world stage in the, where was he? Overseas anyways, doesn't matter.
Won a Diamond League meet.
A Diamond League race, right? And then now at US champs. Pretty cool.
Really cool.
Very exciting.
Yeah, if you're a track nerd like us, this is super exciting. Because dynasties are fun to cheer for or against, but chaos reigns supreme.
It is chaotic.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And then you have like at Worlds, like there's going to be the absence of, let's say, in the 15 and 5K of like a Jakob Ingebrigtsen, right? I don't think he's competing from what I'm gathering, but he is going to be running some races coming up. Correct. He did not compete in. Is he getting a bid? I don't know.
I
He's back to
don't know
training.
what's happening. He's back to work, but I
I
don't know
saw
what's
that.
going to happen.
Well, you take like a tactical world champ 5K and say, okay, well, if Grant Fisher and Cole Hawker and Nico Young can all be in the mix, or no, oh my gosh, Stanford kid, Grant
Blanks.
Blanks. Like you have a tactical race and you say, okay, well, we have 3 players in the mix in all of these races just because they can finish, including Cole Hawker if it's a 13 teens race.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, and if there's not the likes of like a Jakob who would be the one asterisk there, like there's legit chances the US like represents big time. Yeah. All right. So we were supposed to have a topic today. I don't know what you're going to surprise me with it.
I'm going to save it till next week.
You are.
Yep.
Brakken likes to do this thing once in a while where he says, like, I have an idea. And then I say, what is it? And he goes, I'm going to not let you know until we start recording. Why is that?
Same reason you do it to me sometimes. It's fun that way.
I never do that to you. I'm a gentleman.
Well, agree to disagree.
All right.
It's sometimes the more we prep for an idea, the less raw and authentic the response is. I'm not saying you or me, and just in general. Sometimes the gut reaction is the reaction I want.
That's how we do a lot of this anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's get filled in then real quick. And we do have an episode. We're going to teach you guys some things on Thursday with our guests. We got PT and Cairo that I've been working with to help my lower leg issues get corrected. My knee. He's going to be our guest on this upcoming episode, which I think is going to be very enlightening. So if you don't feel like you're learning much right now, you will. So my question for you, without learning much, is what is your plan? If like last week was your ceremonious, let's call ripping of the Band-Aid, with the strength and all that. Like, what is your plan with the training here moving into the fall?
Well, 15 weeks until Hyrox doubles. And then in theory, a few weeks after that will be, because it doesn't look like Chicago can be relied upon to happen.
Sure.
So I'm looking at Anaheim for a individual pro race after that, but I'll just keep bumping back until one is available.
That's December. Is that right?
December. Yeah. December 14th, I want to say. So I'm going 6 full weeks of strength training and high end aerobic running with all my quality, at least initially, coming on the ergs.
Be more specific with that. Could you lay that out just a little bit more?
Yeah. So I'm doing a 4x4 approach to lifting right now, 4 sets of 4 reps. And if you can exceed it, you exceed it. And I'm doing that 3 times per week right now. So
with
that
like
is
the big movements.
Yeah. So it'll be, it'll alternate each session between it'll always be a bench, and then there'll be an overhead press variation. There'll be a squat or squat variation, and then a deadlift. And then on top of that, there'll be a 1 or 2 more moves per session, like a bent over row or a weighted pull up or dips or something that's an accessory movement, but it's mainly focused around 4x4 on 4 big main compound movements. Although bench is not compound, but
you got a bench, bro.
Got a bench.
So really you're laying power and strength foundation right now.
Yeah. And I'm using the running to just not search for things and intersect too many recovery timelines and just build up volume there. And any intensity that I want will be based on the ski erg, since I have a ski erg now, a real ski erg, not a rower tipped upright, and on the rower. And that will happen until the lifting tells me I'm at a place where I can start handling run intensities intersecting with it.
So no run quality right now, or just run quality that isn't stretching you too far?
It's mostly high-end aerobic running right now. And I will start adding in like almost run finishers to my erg quality session. Like 7 to 10 minute tempo off the end of a threshold ski, or 10 to 15 by 400 rather than 16 to 24, but just like little sprinkles on top, but not this week. It'll just be like when I feel available and I want something, I'll just sprinkle some of that to the end of a erg work. But running will just be to build up volume. This is like high rocks base training right now. So I'll do that I have 6 weeks, but it's 4 to 6 weeks. And whenever my body says it's time to transition, then I'll move into global high rocks movements where it's strength based movements to replicate high rocks demands. And I will do that for probably 6 weeks. And then I'll sharpen down to specific high rocks movements that are double specific for the doubles, and then pivot and go to pro from there. That's the outline.
I like the idea of, excuse me, tempo run finishers after like harder machine work, because it's really like you're getting a bit of the race feel there without overworking, meaning like your mechanics are going to feel pretty bad when you go into your 7 to 10 minute tempo.
Yeah,
after
1 to 2 mile tempo, right?
Yeah, but it should feel clunky like a race will make running feel. It should feel like, like just getting used to running on legs that have been used in another way first is like kind of everything, right? And so like you're actually greasing the groove in a very race specific way by doing that without like, I don't know, risking much.
Yeah, it's going to be short enough that it really doesn't cost much or risk anything, but it's going to be fast enough that like it's a good stride and it's teaching some good biomechanics and a lot of plyo and like speed drills and running drills, but the running itself is going to be mostly just high end aerobic.
And are you willing to share where and who you're racing with in doubles?
Not yet. Not until I chat with her. I don't want to put pressure on her.
Okay. So it's the
where will be Dallas. Yes.
The where will be Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, we're already signed up.
And you're doing a mixed team event.
Yeah, mixed doubles in Dallas, and then looking for a place to do a singles pro after that.
I bet you that one lingers in the back of your dome, doesn't it?
I mean, that's the thing that'll inform every decision along the way.
Yeah.
Because you can't show up unprepared for that. You can be slow, but you can't be unprepared.
Yeah. All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. I'm just like full on hobbling down the stairs today.
Yeah, but it feels well earned, I'm sure.
Yeah, it feels good. And it showed me that I'm not like, I don't know. I don't know if it's lifelong miles and reps, but I have retained more than I should have. The lift yesterday did not go as badly as it should have. And the few run workouts I've done have not gone as badly as they should have. I would absolutely fall apart in a race right now. I do not have the fitness to sustain anything, but I can do the things a little better than I have any right to. I think just decades of training, there's just some residue in there that is hanging on to things way better than they should. So I think the rebuild will not be as awful as I kind of expected. It'll just be about staying available and consistent.
I think if you've had years and years of training of some kind, and the word faking it isn't right, but I'm going to use it for lack of a better term. Like you can sort of fake it in some of these training sessions a little bit. But when it comes to putting it all together in a race, like you could, let's say you were a marathoner and you've had success in the past, but now you're coming back from injury. You could fake a mile repeat session, but it would still come crumbling down the back half of the marathon and you wouldn't run nearly as well as you're capable of in the past. And that's how I think like a lot of racing, high rocks in particular, goes. The compounding interest during the race you're not ready for, but in a vacuum, in a condensed sense, you can still put out metrics that are pretty good.
Yeah, way better than anything I've been doing should allow me to. It's almost unfair, right? But no, I couldn't chain a single thing together right now.
Yeah. Well, my training's very boring at the moment.
Is it boring?
Yeah, because I'm supposed to do a session today. I was gonna do my last 24 by 400 meter session, but I kind of trapped myself not last week. I'm going like an every other week thing. I don't even really know where to go from here. I averaged 76s for that session, and I think I cooked a little harder than I should have. And so now I'm like, what do I really do with that session today?
You don't go anywhere for it. You just execute it.
And that's what I think I'm going to
easier.
And that's my plan. Except I'm going to let myself wear alpha flies today, I think, for this one. I wasn't running in anything that makes me feel fast previously. So I was going to do that. I'm running these 3 to 3.5 minute repeats. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to draw this out through next week, keeping it boring. And then I'm going to play. Actually, what I'm going to do is be like, that workout sounds hard and fun. And I'm going to let myself do that for a couple of weeks. And then I'm going to say, do I want to strike on something in early September or not? And I'm going to keep it that loose. That's it.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll see. But basically holding myself back, running within myself.
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
And then are you okay with me playing after next week? Like, meaning like if I want to do a split tempo, or I want to hit my 3-2 float for the first time, or I'm going to wait, but it's about 4 weeks of just kind of 4 to 5 weeks of just like the same crap.
I don't care what workout you choose at all, truly. I think the guiding North Star would be never reach or dig in the workout.
Even in the future.
No. For like the next 4 or 5 weeks, like go do your 3-2, but it's a 7 to 8 tenths workout.
Right.
I think, go have fun, play, but you just respond so quickly in fitness gains to digging that I think you just keep saving the digging.
I think you're right. Yeah. That so I've done it twice now, and this will be my third 24 by 400 meters with 30 seconds rest. It's sneaky, that session. Even if you think you're going conservative early, like 30 seconds rest, you finish, your watch shows the rest counting down. It's already at 7 seconds or something. And then by the time you turn around, it's like, oh my, I have to go again.
Yeah.
Like it turns into a tunnel vision workout. Even if you don't go that hard, it starts to just feel like, I don't know, very consuming.
Yeah. I end up going to 45 seconds oftentimes just because you cannot overwork, but you under recover. And I know that's such like a dumb thing, but like 30 seconds just gets you in trouble sometimes.
So short.
Yeah. That's a workout right there though, that the first time you do it with someone, you're like, oh, this is now easy. Because the first 15 just disappear.
Yeah, maybe that, we'll see. Maybe the alphas is all I need. That's all the company I need.
That's all.
That's all. I haven't run a quality work in the alphas in a bit. So, anything else we got to cover?
Last question. How's the knee feeling?
It's there. It's there. It's there. It's still there. It's
any movement one way or the other.
Yeah. Uphill is still trouble, even a slight grade on the roads, but it is. Before I was getting jabbed with a knife and it would actually cause me to buckle and limp run. Now it's like somebody's hitting it with a tiny hammer. And so it's there, but I'm on the right side of it. So I think if I started running on the trails or racing on the trails right now, I think it would blow out probably at some capacity on me. But right now I'm able to run clean terrain. So
I wish it would just leave.
Me too. Go home, man.
All right, folks. We'll see you Thursday.
Bye, guys.